Hi everyone. In our previous video, we have learned folder specific activities available in SAP BPA. In this video, we will explore file specific activities related to the operation of reading and writing files available in SAP BPA. First activity available is called read file. As the name suggests, it reads the file of maximum size 50 MB, and by default the encoding of the file is set as UTF-8. We can change the encoding of the file as per our need. Next activity is write file. This activity writes the content in a file based on supplied encoding. By default that encoding is UTF-8. Another activity, which is called create file, creates an empty file at a specified location. Next activity is append file. Append file appends text content in a file based on the supplied encoding. Apart from these four activities, there are some other activities which are available for reading and writing files of a special format. Example XML, JSON, and CSV. Now, let's see how to implement these activities. In our previous video, we have already created this automation of exploring the file system activities. These are the activities related to the folder specific activities. We will deactivate these activities and, and drag and drop uh, activities related to file specific reading and writing operation. I will use the activity create file. I will also use the activity called write file. After that, read file. If you notice, all the activities I am picking up are available inside the file system drop down under the file section. And then I will use the activity called append file. I have drag and drop these activities in a special sequence. That is because I want to show you guys by creating a file, and after creating a file, because this step number 5 creates an empty file only, we will use the step number 6 to write the file. After writing some content inside the file, I will use the step number 7 to read the same content. And after reading, I will use the activity step number 8 to append some more content inside that file. For step number 5, let's give some path to this file. That path is inside our temp folder, which is located inside our C drive. And let's give the name of the file as test.txt. So this step should create a file with the name of test.txt. Next step we will provide the same path. Since we have to use the path multiple times, I will create a string type of variable and store the path inside that. For that, I will search inside the tool called an activity called string. I will drag and drop from the data types drop down this activity as the topmost activity, which is step number 5, and I will provide the value as the path of the file. There is an option to include to consider whether this variable is a list. Since this variable is not a list, I will keep this list checkbox as unchecked. Then inside the create file, I will use the output of the variable which is provided in step number 5. And step number 5 provides an output called my variable. I will rename this variable as file path. Then inside the step number 5 I will use the same variable, which is file path. In step number 7 also I will use the same variable called file path, and I will provide the content as hello, we are learning SAP BPA. And default encoding is UTF-8. Otherwise, there are other options also, which is called ASCII, binary, UTF-8, UTF-16, and base64. I will keep this input parameter as blank because I don't want to change the input encoding as of now. Here is a input parameter called override. So if the file is already percent and it contains some data, do we want to overwrite the data? By default, this is true, and there is an input parameter called unexpected characters. For example, characters like /n and /r. For right now, we will not touch this input parameter. Another activity which is called in step number 8 read file, I will provide the same path. I want to read the same file. In step number 9 append file, I will write another line which is called we are exploring file system activities. So what should happen when this automation will run? A file should be created by step number 6 with the name of test.txt inside the temp folder of C drive. Then a line will be written by step number 7, which name is hello, which content will be hello, we are learning SAP BPA. Step number 8 will read the file and gives the content as our output parameter of content. And then append file will write the content uh, called we are exploring the file system activities. By mistake, I have provided the content inside the file path input parameter. I will change it and provide the content inside the content input parameter, and file path I will provide as file path returned by step number 5, which is our variable. I will save the automation and run the automation. The automation ran successfully, and we can see the output of each step. The step of create file and write file does not provide any output parameter. However, the read file, in the read file traces we can see the content read by the this step, which is present inside the file, and the content reads hello, we are learning SAP BPA, which is a line written by our step number 7, that is write file. And the append file also appends another file which we can explore by going inside the file. Here we can see test.txt has been created, and if we open the file, we can see two lines are present. One is hello, we are learning SAP BPA, and that the line is we are exploring file system activities. The point to note here is that the line has been appended without without placing a next line character. That means it will append the content from wherever the last cursor has been placed. And then there are some other activities also available for different formats for reading and writing operation. For example, activities like read CSV file, read lines from CSV, read JSON file, read XML file. Similar activities are available for create file, for write file. Sorry, guys, write file, write JSON file, and write XML file. So that's all from this video. In next video, we will explore some more activities available specific to files in SAP BPA. Thank you guys. Let's meet you in next video.